In 2021? This is a 3-year-old business? It's crazy.
For this size business, is that pretty typical? They haven't diversified the product specific risk and they don't want to. They just want to flip it.
What you've got here is an Australian-based business manufacturing a Chinese product that is 3PL in China, and it sounds like shipped direct from the 3PLs to their customers, to which they run a whole bunch of Facebook ads for. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to another episode of Acquisitions Anonymous, the internet's #1 podcast on buying, growing, and selling small businesses. My name is Bill D'Alessandro. I'm one of your hosts, and today we have an e-commerce brand in the pet control niche. They sell bug zappers, and they're Australian. They sell the products in Australia and in the United States, and they source it from Asia. They have an Asian 3PL. It's a really interesting business model. I have some super strong feelings about this. Whenever we do e-commerce deals like this, I feel like I run my mouth the whole episode. Hopefully it is worthwhile and that you enjoy this episode of Acquisitions Anonymous.
Hey everybody, it's Mil with Acquisitions Anonymous. We have an exciting new sponsor that I want to talk to you about today. This is a universal problem. It's a universal thing that every business owner deals with, and that's HR and compliance. And so are you looking to grow your team worldwide? Plane's modern payroll and HR platform lets you hire, onboard, and pay employees and contractors worldwide. You can get your payroll, benefits, and compliance needs taken care of with Plane's all-in-one payroll and HR solution for US and global teams. You can hire and pay contractors in over 240 countries in the currency of their choice with a contractor-friendly exchange rate. You can hire international employees in days without setting up local entities, which is a huge plus. Run payroll for your US employees using Plane's comprehensive multi-state W-2 payroll platform. And they also save hours of work every month with automated payments for your whole team. They take care of your compliance needs, providing localized contracts and automated tax compliance wherever you're hiring. Learn how Plane can take care of your global payroll needs and benefits and compliance by visiting plane.com/AA podcast. That's PLANE.com/AA podcast. You can find them on Twitter at useplane. Thanks so much.
I think our listeners may be surprised to know, Bill, that we've actually all become friends for this podcast.
I know, me too. I mean, how many hours that we're pushing up on 300 episodes of Acquisitions Anonymous. I have spent more time with you guys than a lot of my real friends, like in-person friends,
Well, here's still a data point. Mills and I have not been in the same room together.
So Mills, I need to warn you, if you've never been in the same room as Girdley, he is shockingly tall. Which I did not realize.
We're a big dude.
He is very.
I know. I think I saw of your bike, Michael, your road bike, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh yeah, all my on the road bike, all my Mexican friends that live here in San Antonio and speak Spanish, they all call me Parabrisas, which is windshield. It's like that's my nickname. I'll give you behind you. So, and then I'm learning Spanish. So basically, like, I'll hear them talking in Spanish, and then I just yell out random gibberish in Spanish at them. So, like, one of our jokes is, like, one time we were riding, and like we're stopped at a stoplight, and I yell back to my Puerto Rican friend. I was like, "Yo, dude, ¿cómo se dice tailwind in español?" And I heard him say viento de culo, which means ass wind, because culo is ass wind. But he said viento de cola, which is tail. Cola is tail. So ever since then, it's viento de culo, and it's been fantastic. But yeah, that's why.
Well, ass wind made something very different around here.
Yeah, so that's why I know. That's why my Spanish is basically construction site Spanish. That's basically what I got going on. Cool. So we got this deal. Look, can I read it to you guys?
Yes, let's hear it.
All right, so it's Website Closers, which, by the way, is like the People magazine of business listings. That's what I'm convinced. Every time
I love that.
Website Closers,
exactly right.
it's like
maybe Us Weekly.
The Us Weekly of business the National Enquirer of business listings. Because every single one of you opens up and you're like, there's no way that's what's going on with Kate Middleton. Like that's basically that's this type of story. So anyway. All right. So websiteclosers.com. Pest control e-commerce brand. Oh my gosh, this is totally in our wheelhouse. Practical and eco-friendly Practical and eco-friendly solutions. $140 average order value, 200,000 average monthly visitors, 100,000 email subs with a strong team in place. And this one is listed as pending. So sorry, guys. If your dreams are getting deflated. All right. Okay. So here's the problem with website closers is they write these giant books about these things. So I'll paraphrase what we got here. So
they were already verbose, and then ChatGPT came out, and these things have ballooned into like the most, like they were already writing like ChatGPT before ChatGPT, right. And now it's just completely out of control.
All right. Website Closers presents a flourishing e-commerce brand that's been all the buzz in the at-home pest control market niche. They sell a range of practical and eco-friendly pest control solutions to their dedicated audience through Amazon and their branded websites, with the latter generating most of their sales. The founders came up with the company's concept after struggling with the very same problem they work for all their customers. All types of bugs, especially mosquitoes, pestering them during the hot Australian summers in Brisbane. They were tired of the hazardous chemicals that many pest-free products had, which posed a risk to their health and the environment, and as such, decided to create an environmentally friendly mosquito solution without toxic chemicals in the formula. I'll just pause there. I've tried all of these like no DEET, no whatever mosquito things. They don't work. So anyway,
nothing worked like DEET.
The mosquitoes are so bad in San Antonio. I don't know if they are in South Carolina, Mills, but at a certain point, everybody spends like a month trying the non-toxic stuff. And then eventually you're just like, you just walk into the Home Depot and you're like, yeah, give me the gallon of DDT, please. Like, I just need that. Just spray it all over my body. Okay. Sorry for the rant there.
I think we need a site visit to Brisbane to just verify, check the quality.
So it's interesting. This is in Brisbane, Australia.
Yeah.
So I'm already wondering how much of these sales are in the United States or in Australia.
Australian mosquitoes are crazy, just like all the other animals there. Like the whole place is trying to kill you.
Yes.
Yeah, we went, my wife and I, before we got married, we went to Australia and we went like on a camping trip, and it was like a guided camping trip. And they were like, do not walk further than 10 feet from the fire. And I was like, well, how do I pee? Like, where do I go to the bathroom? He's like, if you go further than 10 feet, mate, like a dingo will come in and kill you. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, why are we camping in like dingo hunting grounds? Like, who thought this was a good idea? Anyway, okay. The initial product was then marketed, with sales promptly surging as customers discovered the brand. From there, the brand has continued to create and successfully launch innovative solutions to tackle the many different types of pests that Australians and consumers around the world struggle with. Today, the brand has a thriving audience that appreciates the value of the formulas and devices, which contributes to the credibility and bottom lines. Here are some of the reasons why the brokers are excited. They have an Asia 3P&L. They've explored new markets. And of course, you can add social media marketing. Their products are sourced and white labeled through reliable suppliers with whom the current management has strong networks. The brand uses a 100% stock model, with their inventory being managed between 3PL facilities in Asia, Australia, and the US. Roughly to 70 to 100 orders are shipped out daily. They keep from 7 to 30 days of stock, and orders are typically placed with the factories every 2 to 3 weeks. They have negotiated favorable payment terms, which leads to highly beneficial as the business continues to grow. They use digital marketing to draw in about 500,000 people to their site every month. That basically means meta PPC, right? Is that kind of how to think about that, Bill?
Yep, that's what I'm hearing.
Facebook is behind most of their demand generation model.
That seems like it all depends on the conversion rate. There's a lot of cheap traffic out there.
Well, we can basically do the thing. They do 500,000 visitors per month, and they're shipping out 100 orders daily at the high end. So per month, that's 3,000 orders. So they're out of 500,000 visitors, they're converting at about 3,000 customers, assuming no repeats. Mm-hmm. The company's core demographic consists of middle-class individuals between the ages of 45 and 70 who are finally hoping to put an end to their mosquito or pest problems. Good luck with that. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but like here we have huge mosquito problems in San Antonio. And one of my neighbors went and like they just let their yard go feral. Like we're just like screw it. We're going straight feral. And the thing that has changed somewhat is the amount of mosquitoes nearby has gone down. Like the natural order of things, like there's like bugs and that sort of thing. So anyway,
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
Because
healthy or not.
what, birds eat mosquitoes, or what eats mosquitoes? Bats.
Bats eat them. Also,
Bats eat their weight in mosquitoes every day.
Oh, I need some bats.
the other one is,
Does
I
this
think,
business sell bats? That's non-toxic.
so that was one of my ideas actually to go against the mosquitoes was to like put a bat little house in our backyard, but I never attracted any bats, so I gave up on it. The other thing is, have you ever like studied dragonflies? Because I noticed like near a lake near us, there were tons of dragonflies and there were no mosquitoes. And it's because dragonflies are like stone cold killers. Like we are so lucky dragonflies aren't like 2 feet big, because we'd be so screwed. They're so, like go watch the Nature Channel on dragonflies, and then like you'll have nightmares for a week. So, all right, back to the deal. All right, the asking price is $2 million. Cash flow is $1.26 million. So they're asking 1.5 times cash flow. Gross income is $5.6 million, and it was established in 2021. This is a 3-year-old business. It's crazy.
Bill, you hate it, but that like it to me. This is intriguing.
Mills wants
so
to be
bad,
bad,
Bill.
so bad. Like you should roll up website closers and load my SBL on that highest business to be bankrupt in a year. It'll go great for you. Promise. This is the most website closers deal I've ever seen. So this business is 3 years old tops, and read this. So it's based in Australia. This is like classic business broker obfuscation right here. The brand operates primarily in Australia and the US, with these regions accounting for 80% of their sales. And then it says Canada and New Zealand contribute the rest of their revenue. So they've intentionally lumped Australia and the US together here to get to 80%, which makes no sense. And then immediately the next sentence is their sales peak from October to March, when Australian summer is at its peak, which tells you that the Australian bit of the revenue is the massive lump by far. Otherwise, it would be counterbalanced by American summer, which it clearly is not. So most of the sales of this business are in Australia. So what you've got here is an Australian-based business manufacturing a Chinese product that is 3PL in China, and it sounds like shipped direct from the 3PLs to their customers, to which they run a whole bunch of Facebook ads for. I was expecting this to be almost 100% Amazon. And they've said the word Amazon a couple times in this listing, but they don't kind of come out and say it. They say additional traffic to their Amazon storefront. And they also say really at the bottom, there is a key phrase here. Their top selling product is a mosquito zapper, which is currently responsible for 80% of all sales. So this is a single product company.
That's a death knell right
so
there.
Commodity Asian electronic is 80% of your sales. Good luck. So, I think,
All right.
yeah, Mills is bankrupt. Congratulations.
I changed my mind.
It's too late. You've already closed. You're done. You call Heather. You're defaulting on your SBA loan. So you see this all the time. And there's a set of entrepreneurs out here that do this on rinse and repeat, which is, you start a business, you scale it up, and then you reach this inflection point where you got 80% of your sales is bug zapper. And what's about to happen is the bug zapper is not going to be selling bug zappers a decade from now, right? So like this thing is about to roll over. And you've got 2 choices. You can either come up with new hero products, or you can call website closers and sell the business. And I explicitly say website closers because other brokerages would not take this on. Because, this is just a recipe for getting screwed. And by the way, there is a reason this thing is priced at under 2 times cash flow, right? This is 1.2 million of cash flow and 2 million asking price. Yeah. You'll be lucky if you get your capital back here. This will start feeling like 10 times cash flow inside of a year. I guarantee it. And what you're basically then scrambling to do is come up with the next thing that you can sell these customers. Now you will have an email list because I think they're doing a lot of .com sales here, but still, this is functionally going to be a different business in a year because I just don't think you're not going to be able to command whatever margins they're commanding here on a commodity Asian product. Like type in bug zapper on Amazon. Good luck competing on those keywords. They've got a certain number of ads, and like you can't run those ads forever. Like competition is going to show up. I don't see any IP here. I just don't see any moat at all. This is a great way to make some money for the people who started it. Like, this is not a durable business with enterprise value, I don't think. By the way, and the last thing I'll say, it was in 2021 when the Amazon aggregators were buying these things for 4 times EBITDA, and that's why they're all bankrupt today. So don't be like Thrasio.
It's funny how, I mean, you can see what's going on behind the scenes in Amazon. I just, did what you said, Bill, and went and searched bug zapper on Amazon. And it's funny how often it's the exact same product from a single factory, and it's listed here like 42 different times, each time with a different name on it. They just slap a different name on the exact same model. Like, here it is again. It's like, and they'll make like different photos or and let me just tell you, Amazon consumers out there, if it looks like it's the same product, it's coming from the same factory. The logo is silk screened on it at the factory. Don't pay attention to the reviews. Just buy the cheapest one. It's the same. And there will always be one cheapest one. That one is the latest guy that has private labeled bug zapper from Amazon and is selling it below cost to try to build rank. Just buy that one. Pro tips behind the scenes. I know it's on. Just when you're buying a bug zapper, just buy the cheapest one. Figure out the one you want and figure out which quote unquote brand is the cheapest, and then buy that. Have you seen the bloodbath on Twitter?
I remember seeing one of these a few years ago that was like 3 years old, had gotten to 40 million in sales selling hearing aids, and it was like based in Malta or some tax haven, and the guy basically owned it. Like, yeah, I'm going to do something. It's tons of paid customer acquisition. I'm really good at it. But it's like, I just held on to the rocket ship as long as I could, and I want you to pick it up for me, and you try and hold on as long as you can. But it's just seems like the most volatile, risky, unpredictable.
Well, the only certainty is there'll be a race to the bottom in any category that works, right? Like, as Bill's talking about, like, yeah, you're going to buy in. You're going to ride the wave, and then just make sure you're ready to get out of it before the thing crashes into the rocks.
Yeah, I mean, you need a moat. You need a really strong brand moat, and I'm talking like real like Nike. Like, you need a really strong, or you need IP moat, or you need distribution moat. Like in our business, like that's why we push so hard into retail. We've got, we're all the nation's biggest pet retailers now, right? We've got a distribution moat there. Like, that's why we're really focused on branding, with our name, Natural Dog Company, and we defend that trademark vigorously. You gotta, and we're developing formulas that are custom to us. We're sourcing raw ingredients. You gotta build these moats. But if you come with just, I'm bringing this thing in from China, it's so hard. As another fun exercise, anybody out there, if you're looking at buying a business like this, sign the NDA, figure out what product it is. And then you can go on AliExpress, which is Alibaba's consumer. You can go on Alibaba.com, which is like the B2B Chinese marketplace, or AliExpress, which is the B2C Chinese marketplace. Go on Alibaba.com and you can find it, like, straight up. And then ask yourself, if I was able to find it so quickly, is there really a moat here? And by the way, you sign an NDA. I'm not suggesting you then compete with them. What I'm saying is, as diligence, how easy is it to find their supplier? And if it's pretty freaking easy for you, that should give you a lot of pause. I'm also interested, it says they've got 7 full-time employees that work in video editing, customer service, and marketing, alongside 3 additional freelancers that handle also video editing, graphic design, and web design. My questions now are, none of these people are managers or leaders or strategists, right? You got 7 full-time employees. Like, I'm sure these are all overseas, and nothing against that, but they all report to the entrepreneur. So on day one, you show up and they're like, what ads do I make, boss? And unless you make ads as good as the guy that just sold you the business, you're not going to know what to tell them. And your ads are going to be bad, but relatively. This is just really tough. I'd also be really curious if any of these freelancers are working for this owner's other businesses, because I guarantee you there are other businesses here. And this is the one that has, like, whoever owns this does this every 6 months. right? And has a couple of these going in parallel and is on like has website closers on speed dial. And like once they have 2 years of financials and it's SBA eligible, they call website closers. So whoever is selling this is not in the business of holding the bag. I guarantee you. Out there.
That's such good insight, Bill, and like proof that you've looked at hundreds or thousands of these. Because I look at it and I'm like, kind of interesting. Like maybe there's something to this. And you're like, I've signed enough NDAs. I've seen enough of these transact and crash. And I mean, the nuances of Amazon and the black hole that it, but it's proof and testament to, building subject matter expertise and, that whole adage, like if you're sitting at the poker table and you don't see it.
Yeah. So someone actually replied to us on Twitter. We did another deal, the luxury marketplace deal, which was several episodes back. And someone said, perhaps and we were wondering whether it was involved in illicit activities or whatnot. And someone replied, maybe the best fit broker for the marketplace that does the least diligence is the broker that does the least diligence. And, that's kind of what we got going on here. But
so we're all getting thumbs down on this one.
I'm so out. So what's I mean, like, is there a price? I think there's I said this in the last episode, seller note type share revenue with, no obligation type thing. So if this thing tanks, seller doesn't get paid either. That's the only way I would buy this would be with extreme risk share, dramatic risk share by the seller, wanting to step out of it. And I signed this. I mean, this says pending. Michael, scroll up. Does it say pending?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So I would also ask how many other businesses does the entrepreneur own and how many other businesses has he sold? And I would guarantee the numbers of both of those will be high. So makes me nervous.
One thought before we wrap up, Bill, is there the fact that they have 80%, maybe it's not one SKU, maybe it comes in 3 different colors or something like that. But fundamentally, there's one product that does 80% of the sales. For this size business, is that pretty typical? Like they haven't diversified the product specific risk, and they don't want to.
In this case, this entrepreneur is a flipper type person, which I'm sure they do great. And that's why website closers exist, by the way, because those, that business model needs a brokerage. This is a $5 million business. Like you can easily get one product to $5 million bucks, on e-commerce. So yeah, a lot of times businesses this scale don't have hero products or exclusively have hero products rather. And I don't hate that it has 80% of sales from one product. What I hate is that 80% of sales are from a commodity Asian electronic. That's the problem. So 80% of sales are on a race to the bottom, no moat SKU. That's what scares me. If 80% of sales are on a proprietary patented game or something, great. You can probably double it from there, or more. It's just like these commodity, like the joke in Amazon seller circles. There's this guy named Scott Ogler who was like one of the original Amazon influencers, and everybody was so cagey about telling people what they sold in the early days of Amazon, and still are, that Scott would always use a garlic press as like the example product, like the stand-in product. And so like the garlic press is now like a joke, is like synonymous with the word widget, like in Amazon seller circles. So like it's this kind of like imported from Alibaba, silk screen your logo onto it. Everybody has one, really competitive. So like if your main product is a garlic press, I'm scared. If your main product is, something proprietary. Okay.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. I love when you teach stuff.
This has been a decade doing this, so I guess that's why I'm allowed to host a podcast about it. Yeah, that's true.
And you got scars to prove.
All right, let's wrap it up. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow us on Twitter, Aqua Anon, ACQU Anon. You can follow me at Bill DA or Mills at the General Mills, or Michael is at Girdley. We'd love you to follow or share this episode with somebody who's interested in buying businesses so that they can learn about the topic just like you have. We'll see you next time.